We have CEO for Farmlands, Peter Reidie, on the phone. Now, of course, before we kick into things, Peter, I've hyped it up enough. I know you're a big softie. What's a special song that's dear to your heart?
Well, I have to say two, actually.
Ooh.
The first being a good southern man and from Southland. The song that gets Southland rocking is Wagon Wheel.
Oh, God.
And every time we start an event, Wagon Wheel roars and then the crowd gets going. So we love Wagon Wheel.
Cool.
Rock me mama like a wagon wheel is a very romantic line in Southland.
Mm.
And then my own favourite song is a song called Me and Bobby McGee, which is written by Chris Christopherson and has amazing words like freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. And a line I love is, I'd trade all my tomorrows for a single yesterday to hold Bobby's body next to mine.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Absolutely. And Chris Christopherson, what an absolute legend. I'm glad you said that and not, of course, oh, goodness me, the lady that died, Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin.
Because that's the thing with Wagon Wheel. Everyone thinks Darius Rucker sung it, but it was actually Old Crow Medicine Show. So just in case we're going to clarify that.
And actually written by Bob Dylan, which is another trivial pursuit on Wagon Wheel.
Huh, fun fact. I didn't think anyone was ever going to teach me anything about country music, Peter. We've got another whole conversation to have here. Hey, now, of course, we've got quite a few topics to get through and a little bit of time there connecting you, but let's get straight into it. Can you give us a bit of an understanding, because Farmlands is at such scale in terms of our inputs into our farming operation from our global markets, especially things like fuel, how has supply chains been and through this lockdown over the last month?
Yes, I mean, as we're talking to you today, Sarah, right now, supply has been very, very strong and very, very good. And we have been in a position where generally there hasn't been anything we've been able to supply. Now, because we are working to international supply chains and things can go up and things can go down in that process, who knows what may happen 3 months from now. But right now, the pitch is pretty strong. And all of our suppliers are indicating that they can supply us what we're asking for.
And of course, fuel is a large part of your business. Obviously, we saw some historic lows with the stockpiling in the US. It's crazy time.
Yes, it's interesting. And I actually just walked past the service station on a walk around tonight, and diesel was 85 cents. 85 cents. So fuel has definitely come down dramatically. And as anyone who's walked out on a road or on a street, there isn't a lot of traffic movement even under level 3. So there's no problems getting supply of fuel. And in fact, that's one of the challenges of our business, in fact, being able to supply enough fuel because obviously the market is considerably down.
Now, there's actually a girl who works for Farmlands in one of the stores here in Christchurch that lives on the farm, and we're having a bit of a yarn about it in the weekend, and she said it's just crazy because all of a sudden everybody's gone on to your online store of something that had been around for a while but just not supported, and all of a sudden it's become a part of their everyday. How has that been for your team to turn that around in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, just a shout out to the wonderful Farmlands people who have had to really respond and do things do the same thing in terms of supplying our farms, but doing it in a very different way in terms of how we've had to do it. And one of those different ways is actually to open up an e-commerce store we're calling COVID Click and Collect. We had an e-commerce store that we actually shut down in December on the back of some new technology we were introducing, and we couldn't mix the old with the new. So plan was actually to bring it in July as we started a new financial year. But this crisis forced us to expedite a little bit quicker than that. And so we put COVID Click and Collect out there in 3 weeks, which is quite a huge, fast time frame and a great effort from everyone. And that service, in its first week, did 4 times what the previous offer we had did in 12 months. So I don't think that's just an indication of a better website. It's an indication of how much more our client base, our farmers, are using the technology, as we all are.
And this is the thing. What is it, 21 days to create a habit, Peter? You'd be probably quite happy to have a good consumer training period to get used to a new normal business.
But there is nothing like a little bit of necessity to allow us to pick up something new, isn't it? I mean, technology is challenged in that it has to give us a benefit, a quick benefit for us to adopt it, unless we have to use it. And in recent times, we've had to use it, and that's definitely resulted in some change of behaviour.
No,
and I think it will continue to be the case. I think that will be locked in behaviour from now on.
You make a very valid point there. We talk a lot about the interoperability of a lot of these softwares across the sector, and you make a very good point. If it's not quick to understand the value of, then people will not adopt it. And yeah, absolutely. Well done. Peter, you've been in the role now for a couple of years, and I mean, you're obviously sitting at quite a high leadership position, What are you seeing is needed at global thinking of our leaders right now to actually navigate this unprecedented time and not rely on government?
Yep. Well, I would start with that word global. I mean, it is very, very easy to get into our shell and look inward and say what's going on around us and how do we change just that. The opportunity for New Zealand is the globe, is the world. And I do really think we have an incredibly positive story. You look how well we've responded to this, how our country's coming through the other side already, and it has had minimal damage caused to it. And I think that can be used as a story to say it's part of what we do, it's part of how we behave, it's part of the great environment we have and the great country we have and the attitude of the people. And the same thing, that all of that attitude, all of that great country goes into our amazing products off the land. And so let's tell that story and let's tell the world what great products we have and get the globe buying us. That's the opportunity for sure.
New Zealand is so turning inwards, though, to look to the rural sector to pull our economy through. But as I heard Mike Peterson on Talkback last night saying, clearly, rural's not suffering either. And what do we need to be able to back our own community to help our wider economy?
Well, I think the reality is the ag sector or the primary sector has been the backbone of New Zealand for some time. I think that over the last 2 or 3 years we've sort of lost a little bit of sight of that. And one good thing that has come out of the crisis is that we've all been reminded about how important what our landowners do for us as a country and how they earn those expert earnings which allow us to pay for the things that we're seeking to do. So that's got to continue, and we've got to say, let's keep on that, but at the same time, let's embrace the things that people are talking about, like advocating New Zealand produce over and above overseas. But at the same time, I think we've got to bear in mind we are selling to an international world, and we want that international world to embrace our products. So at the same time, I think there's got to be a bit of quid pro quo, and we shouldn't be shutting down other products, particularly if they're better. And that's what New Zealand can sell to the world, better products, and New Zealand should be prepared to take on better products in the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Some wise words there from CEO of Farmlands Cooperative, Peter Reidie. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time to join us. And I will certainly have you back on the show with your excellent music commentary.
Thanks, Sarah. Sorry about the disruption with the technology. We did rehearse and we had a plan, but it didn't quite come through. Next time.
No, absolutely. Next time. I can't wait. We'll have you in the studio, though, live when we get over this lockdown. It'll be great. I'll be very, very happy to see you. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Peter.
This is Sarah's Country.